Hey guys, welcome back to Not For Everyone. So last week we did myths about startups and we got some really cool results. A lot of you emailed us, a lot of you asked us to do more of these types of things. So today we thought we would dive into marketing. I'm a marketer, so it's kind of up my alley. So today we're going to talk about the biggest myths that exist in marketing, the biggest myths that exist in digital marketing, and what can you do going forward. So stay tuned. All right. So myths about marketing. I know a lot of myths about marketing. I get jammed with these types of questions a bunch. The misconceptions that exist are a lot. I've been teaching marketing. I'm a professor and I've been teaching marketing for more than 10 years now, more than a decade. And a lot of my students, even at a level of, master's degree, when they're coming into the marketing class, they also have a bunch of misconceptions. And we're going to run through a big list of them today. And I'm going to break some of those myths so that you know what's actually going on, kind of behind the curtain of marketers and what we discuss, internally within those smaller groups. And I'll open up all the cards. And if you like the content, let me know. Please drop a comment below. If there's any myths that you still think are relevant, again, drop a comment below and I'll make sure that I research it and I'll let you know what the answer is. So let's start off with a simple one, but I think one of the biggest ones that usually exist is that marketing and advertising are the same thing. Marketing and advertising are used synonymously a lot. When you say marketing campaign, you might mean advertising campaign. When you say advertising, you might mean marketing. So they kind of get used and kind of thrown together a lot, but they're clearly very different. Advertising is basically promoting your product or service in order to drive sales. Or if you're a nonprofit, maybe to further your cause. But more or less, it's whatever you're promoting to drive sales. That's advertising. Advertising is usually shorter term, and you're looking for results. You're looking for dollar amounts. Marketing is a bigger picture of that. It's much more broader. Marketing is more about what kind of people you want to be your users, what kind of people you want to be your customers, your consumers, how they act and react with your brand, how they discuss your brand. Marketers tend to think of brands as human beings, as organic sort of beings that have their own personality. They talk a certain way. Look at the fast food chains, McDonald's, Wendy's, look at their Twitter account, look at their Twitter feed. These brands are talking as if they're human beings and they have tone of voice, they have personality. So it's a little bit more complex. It's more about the associations that you want to create about your product and service and about your brand rather than just pure promotion and sales, which is a little bit more advertising. So these two get thrown together, but you have to be able to differentiate them. Advertising has a little bit more creativity, script writing, content creation, copywriting. Marketing is a little bit more a strategic function. It's a business function, just like finance or operations or HR. Marketing would be a business function. Advertising would just be the implementation of that strategy. So let's just make sure we're keeping those separate. The second one, which I get a lot, and I feel like I get judged because I'm a marketer because of this, when they say, no, marketing is just manipulation to get us to buy stuff we don't need. It's not true. It's simply not true. I know it feels that way sometimes, but it's not true. If you don't need something, you won't buy it. If you don't want something, you won't buy it. And nobody can force you to buy it. Marketing usually cannot create a need. We can understand that there's an underserviced market. We can understand that maybe you don't know that you need it, but you do need it. But we can't create and generate needs from thin air. The only key difference here is that it feels like manipulation sometimes because some of the needs that are met and some of the things that you pay for, that I pay for, are emotional. They're experiences. They're not functional. It's not a cup you drink from and you pay $1 for it. It might be a cup that has your brand name or a loved brand and it's $10. And you're paying for the emotion. You're paying for the experience, right? A good example is the entertainment industry. Movie theaters or cafes, restaurants. You can eat the same food at home. You can watch the same movie on Netflix, but you go to the movie theater because you want to pay for the experience. You're not paying to watch the movie, you're paying for the overall experience. And that experience is worth something. It's a need. You want to feel that experience, you want to be entertained. So it's a little bit more complex. We are human beings, we are irrational by nature. And we do want to pay for emotional needs as well. And that's where it might feel like manipulation. But to be completely fair, we cannot create needs from thin air. That simply doesn't exist. The need might be emotional, which might feel like manipulation, or it might be a need that you don't even know that you need, but we figure it out before you and then we start marketing to you. So that kind of covers that. The third one is we need to target everyone because everyone is our customer. Yeah, if you're a mass product or a mass brand, it's something that everybody uses. You might feel like you need to target everybody, but again, simply not true. If you're targeting everyone, you're targeting no one. If you try to be everything to everyone, you will be nothing to everyone. And it's the simple reality. And marketers know that. You cannot target everyone. You have to have a narrow target group. It's very simple and a very easy way to explain it. I mean, just look at your friends and look at your family. How you make decisions on what you buy and how your boyfriend, your girlfriend, your husband, your significant other, your wife, how your mother, your father make these decisions are very, very different. And if I talk to you, your mother might not understand. If I talk to your father, your sister might not understand it, and so on and so forth. So if you just look at the people around you, it's very simple to understand that the same message cannot be relevant to all of us. If there is a message that's relevant to all of us, then the message itself is watered down. It tends to be diluted. And if you dilute a message, you won't be breaking through, and marketers know that. So if you want to break through noise, you want to break through clutter, your messaging, your content needs to be very crisp, very sharp, and very targeted and to the point. So you do need a target group. Now, in this scenario, if you're still a mass brand, the target group doesn't necessarily mean that they're the only ones that are going to buy your product or service. It just means you're using your target group as the bell cow. You're using them as the persona or the portrait that you want to use to create all of your messaging and your content. But when somebody else other than your target group sees that message or content, it's still relevant to them and they'll still buy your product. So targeting a specific niche doesn't necessarily mean that that niche is the only one that's going to buy it. So just take that into account. But if you don't target anyone, you're just simply not going to break through the clutter. Number 4, I like this one a lot. Our customers aren't on social media, or digital marketing is, secondary. My customers aren't online. It's the 21st century, guys. This is not true. I mean, whatever is on your screen is marketing. If you're not on the phone, if you're not on this screen, if you're not here, then you're not going to be relevant. You have to end up on your target group screen. In order to prove my point even more, I'm just going to read off a bunch of statistics just to be clear. So Facebook ads are used by 70% of marketers, and there's over 10 million advertisers on Facebook. 83% of people use Instagram to discover new products and services, and 87 of them have taken specific action like making a purchase after seeing product information. 64% of buyers would rather send a brand a message on social media rather than call customer service. 43% of Gen Z consumers have made a native purchase from a social media platform. 75% of millennials say social media helps them engage with companies and brands. 79% of people say that user-generated content on social media significantly impacts their purchase decision. If you're not online, you don't exist. You have to be on social media. You have to be on the digital space, and that's where you should be starting from. You should be a digital marketing first solution, unless very specific niches, there's B2Bs and stuff like that. But overall, for the majority of the people watching this video, digital marketing is going to be priority. Before I get onto I have about 4 or 5 more myths I want to bust, but before I get there, if you made it this far, guys, please help us out. Hit that subscribe button. It really does help us. We're almost at 1,000 subscribers. So help us, cross that threshold, and we promise to continue generating content for you guys so you can watch these videos and enjoy it. Next one. As long as you have a great product or service, They will sell themselves. You don't need marketing. This is not true anymore. It might have been true maybe 20, 25, 30 years ago, but today, guys, I mean, it's just simply not true anymore. If you have a great product or service, well, you know what? So does everybody else. So does your competitor. If they don't, they will. They'll copy you. It's very straightforward. You got to have marketing. Without marketing, you simply cannot be a business. If you're not actively driving sales, somebody else is. And they're going to win. You're simply not going to be able to survive. Having a great product or service is something that you must have, but it's definitely not enough. You have to have a great product or service, and then you have to add marketing on top to make sure the right people are seeing that product and service at the right time and place so that you're driving sales. Marketing campaigns should deliver results immediately to be successful. This one I hate a lot. I really don't like this one at all. There is a misconception that when you turn on a Facebook ad, you're looking at conversion directly. So it goes to your website and they buy something, so you're looking at immediate sales results. This is simply not true. Marketing does have a medium-term and long-term effect, and you have to take those effects into account when you're trying to understand whether a marketing campaign was successful. There are companies that have spent years communicating the same message over and over and over again in order for them to position themselves in that marketing space. If you're only looking at quick sales results the month after the campaign, then it's just simply not true. Now, there are advertising campaigns that are driving direct sales at that point of purchase. Fine. Those need to deliver results. That's fair enough. But again, marketing is a bit broader. Marketing is more about engagement with your brand, engagement with your company, and those types of things take a longer time to establish. So be patient with your marketing expenses. Number 7, who needs a marketing strategy? It's just a document that no one looks at. We just run campaigns and see how it goes. We kind of wing it, you know? This is more of a 21st century ideation. A lot of companies are doing this. I'm in the startup space. We do experiment a lot and try to understand where we can be more impactful, but all of it still has an underlying tone underneath. The reason why you need a marketing strategy is because you're doing, pay-per-click, you're doing your social media stuff, you're doing your blogs and SEO, you're doing a whole bunch of Google ads. So there's a bunch of things that you're doing in the marketing space. But if all of them aren't aligned into the same boat, if you're not driving the same point over and over again, it's not going to be impactful enough. Either you have to pump millions into each individual line to get any type of results, or you have to make sure all of the arms and legs are driving towards the same point, which is where you need a marketing strategy. Now, marketing strategies can evolve. Marketing strategy should evolve. So it's not just a document that you print and you put on the wall and it's there forever and you don't really look at it. It's something that you continuously come back to. It's something that you continuously update. You integrate new insights, you integrate new evolutions. If you're a new company, 3-4 years, you're thinking about rebranding, you can kind of pivot to a new strategy. So there's a bunch of things that you can do, but that strategy is necessary for you to be able to get more bang for your buck. All of the money and time and resources that you're spending in these different areas have to be aligned towards the same point. A guiding star, if you will. Next one up, marketing is only for bringing in new customers. This is absolutely not true. I think this is one of the points where a lot of, especially small and medium businesses, tend to lose traction. Marketing is just not about only bringing in new customers. Keeping those customers as well is extremely, extremely relevant and is a clear-cut marketing function. If you're a bigger company or you're looking at FMCG or producing something or you're a service, you tend to think about it as hunting and farming. You hunt new clients and then you farm the existing clients, upsell, cross-sell, right? If you're a startup or you're in the tech industry, it's usually growth marketing or acquisition marketing and then retention, right? So retention marketing. But again, these things exist. You have to think about retention. Things like churn. How often are people leaving? Things like, can I upsell? Can I cross-sell? What's the lifetime value of a specific user, of the average user? all of this is relevant in the end game, which is top line growth. And if you want top line growth, but your bucket has a hole in it, it's simply not going to work. No matter how much water you pour in, water is still, leaking out from the bucket. So you have to make sure you close those leaks and then add more and more. And again, that is a marketing function. So don't forget about the farming side. Don't forget about the retention side. Last but not least, you just need a ton of content. Just a bunch of content. Throw more content. And content marketing has become very buzzy, right? It's the buzzword. Content marketing is extremely relevant. Yes. You need content marketing. Yes. Everybody needs content marketing, no matter what kind of product or service you are. Content marketing is going to be relevant, but it's not about quantity. It's more about quality. Once again, just kind of keyword stuffing doesn't really work anymore. If you're just spamming out emails on a quantity, it simply isn't working anymore. The quality has become extremely relevant. Just to prove the point that it's so relevant, just think about your customer journey. Think about when you're buying something. You wake up in the morning, you have a life, you check your social medias, you go to work, you might read some, newspaper, like online newspaper or online media. So there's a lot of touch points that exist, but throughout this entire journey, at some point, you want me to buy something, a product or a service. In that journey, I'm going to see your blog post, and then I'm going to see your Facebook ad, and then I'll probably see your Google ad if I search this. So I'm seeing different multiple points of your content. If all of that content is not driving towards your strategic goals, it's not going to work, because then I'm going to get even more confused. If you just run after the buzzwords or the keywords, well, everybody's talking about this, the Yeezy brand and what happened with Kanye, and you start writing a blog post about shoes and Kanye, but you're trying, but that space is absolutely irrelevant to your product or service. It's going to create more confusion for us as consumers, but it's also going to create more confusion for the Google bots. And then you're going to get, so it simply doesn't work anymore. The systems, online systems, are much more sophisticated than we like to think. So again, go for quality. Make sure that all of the content that you're generating have quality. They're to the same point. There's a strategy behind it. And then from there, you can expand more and more. You do need to generate a lot of content. Yes. Just make sure the content has quality and it's to the same point. That's it for today, guys. I think we went through a whole bunch of myths. Once again, if you like these kind of myth-busting episodes like the one we did last time about startups, or this time about marketing, if you want to see more, let me know what topic you want. Let me know what you want to see, and we'll make sure we look up some myths for you and dig deeper. See you next week.